Sergeant Sal Carmona with the Harlingen Police Department is here to show us how to pick the right car seat for your child and, of course, how to install it properly. Welcome.
Good afternoon. We'll start off with the infant. The infant is a rearward facing only car seat. So when it's in the vehicle, it has to face to the rear. And then it has weight limits for how much the child can weigh. So when it reaches those limits, then you want to move it up to the next stage. So it's important to understand that rear facing car seats can only face rearward, and they can only be installed in the back seat, none in the front seat, because the airbag will cause the car seat to go against the seat and then kill the child.
And definitely, and before we went on air, you were talking with Victoria because she was having her second child, and she was talking about, when do you actually turn the child? And a lot of people think it's, it's based, oh, they're one, I can turn them, but that's not the case.
Correct. It used to be that they talked about one-year-old, but now the answer is, as long as the car seat will allow the child to face rearward, then to keep that child facing rearward. And in most cases, like this one here, it'll be after 35 pounds, after the child reaches 35 pounds. And that could be almost 2 years old, if not older.
Right.
So to hold them facing rearward as long as possible because of neck and spine injuries. That's why we're facing the child to the rear, so he can ride out the impact to the front of the vehicle and not cause his head to go forward because he's facing rearward.
Right. And we can move this one out of the way.
Yes.
And then this is the second one that that the child will move up to, again, based on weight and height.
And this is what we call a convertible because it'll convert from rearward facing to forward facing by just moving the shelf here.
Oh, okay.
And this one here has graduated portions where as the child grows, the harness can go higher and higher. But you want the harness even with the shoulders or just above if they're facing rearward. If they're facing rearward, at or below. If they're facing forward, at or above. So at or above so that it keeps the child in there.
Gotcha.
A lot of parents think, well, I want my child to be comfortable, so they make this super loose. The answer is, if you can pinch the harness, then it is too loose. So you want it nice and secure so that you cannot pinch the harness so that the child doesn't move around in there.
Okay, and the final one would be the booster seat.
Correct. The booster seat for those children over the age of 3. No child under the age of 3 should be in a booster seat. And we have proven already that we need this shoulder harness for the child because if they did not have it, they would fall forward and then rupture spine and pelvis and things like that.
Okay.
So we have to have the harness. A lot of times the child will put it under his arm because they see the parent do that.
Right.
And so that's why we tell you to make sure that it rides across the chest properly. And this one here, as the child grows, the back goes further, and then this causes the harness to move. So no one under the age of 3 in the booster seat, the longer you can keep the back on is better for the child for side-to-side impacts. And then, of course, this harness strap as well.
And the thing that parents need to do whenever they're installing it is pay close attention to all car seats have bubbles, so that tells them if the car seat is tight enough into the vehicle.
Correct. And that's a good point that they don't have to be welded to the seat. They just have to be so that you don't have an inch, more than an inch, left or right or forward or backwards.
So, you can't be
it can move a little bit, but not more than an inch, left or right or forward or backwards. And that bubble gives the child the right angle, so you want to look at that. One thing we also want to bring out is that the car seats all have expiration dates now.
Yes.
So there is an expiration on these car seats, and you look on the back, it'll be either on a tag or embossed into the plastic, so it'll say when to stop using the car seat.
Good thing to note, and also you said too, is don't share car seats. Once you use it, one kid, you're done. Get rid of it.
Exactly. And another point too is car seats are a one-time use item.
Right.
If you were ever involved in a major accident, the car gets towed away and damaged, that car seat is no longer any good because the webbing stretched, the plastic probably could have cracked it, might not be able to see. So one-time use only. If you're in an accident, then
don't use
replace it.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Sergeant Carmona, for joining us.
My pleasure.